York Mets versus the St. Louis Cardinals in the second game of today's doubleheader. New York Mets baseball is brought to you by Rheingold Beer, as another in its continuing parade of major sports events. It's our way of saying thank you for making Rheingold New York's largest selling beer. Rheingold, either you have it or you don't. And Rheingold's got it.
New York Mets baseball is also brought to you by Armory Garage, Central at Colvin in Albany. He's out to win you over with the winningest deal of the year on a new Plymouth.
Bob Kiner along with Bob Murphy and Lindsey Nelson for the second game of this doubleheader. The first game won by the Mets 5-4. They scored in the bottom half of the ninth to win the ball game and win the first game of the doubleheader. Here in the second ball game, the starting pitchers for the St. Louis Cardinals, who now have dropped out of first place with the Chicago Cubs winning today. They are 1/2 game behind. It's going to be left-hander Steve Carlton, and pitching for the New York Mets, right-hander Jack LeMahieu. The New York Mets have taken the field, and we'll be back with today's second game in just one moment.
Of your own free will, would you ever endanger your family's life? The answer has to be no. And yet you may be doing it every time you step into your car. Face it, worn tires, brakes that need relining, and wheels that need alignment are all factors that could cause a bad, if not a fatal accident. Don't you think it's time you took the time to see Terry Haggerty, your general tire specialist in Albany? If you need new tires, Terry Haggerty will be able to assess exactly which type of general tire will assure you of maximum driving safety. There are 4 different types of general tires to choose from, you know, including the General Safety Jet that's built with 4 full plies of nylon cord for blowout protection, or the all-new General Dual 90 with Stratoseal, which seals punctures while you keep on driving. While you're at Terry Haggerty, check on the low cost of the brake relining and wheel alignment service. Put safety first. See Terry Haggerty, General Tire Incorporated, 3234 Clinton Avenue in Albany.
The starting lineups for the St. Louis Cardinals: Lou Brock to lead off and play left field. Batting second, playing center field, Kurt Flood. Batting third in right field, Roger Maris. Batting fourth and playing first base, Orlando Cepeda. Batting fifth at third base, Mike Shannon. Batting sixth and catching in the ball game, Dave Ricketts. Batting seventh, playing second base, Julian Javier. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, Dow Maxwell. And the pitcher, Steve Carlton, batting in the ninth position. For the New York Mets, the leadoff batter will be Bud Harrelson, the hero of the first game win. Bud playing shortstop. Batting second and playing in center field, Cleon Jones. Batting third and playing left field, Tommy Davis. Batting fourth in right field, Ron Sloboda. Batting fifth and playing third base, Ed Charles. Batting sixth and playing second base, Jerry Buchek. Batting seventh and catching, Gary Grody. Batting eighth and playing first base, Ed Kranepool, and the pitcher, Jack LeMahieu, batting in the ninth position. The umpires for this contest: Billy Williams behind home plate, Frank Sikori at first base, Ken Burkhardt at second base, and Ed Vargo, the umpire, at third. This broadcast comes to you through the courtesy of Rheingold Breweries Incorporated and the New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut Chrysler Plymouth Dealers Association, and is authorized under radio rights granted by the New York Mets solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, production, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Mets is prohibited. Now Lou Brock in the batter's box. And this ball game about to get underway. Jack LeMahieu on the mound for the Mets. Jack, a right-hander. And his first pitch is swung on and foul tipped. Held on to by Jerry Grody, strike one. LeMahieu, 30 years of age, 6'2", 202 pounds, from Springfield, Massachusetts. He is 0-1 this year for the Mets. Last year with the White Sox, he won 7 and lost 9. He has won 27 in his major league career. And now a swing and a foul tip. Ball going back against the screen, strike two. Lifetime against the Cardinals. Jack LeMahieu has no record. Lou Brock batting .297 with a 2-strike count. First ball game, he had a base hit in 5 times up. He's had 13 home runs. Pitch back over the outside corner, strike 3. And Jack LeMahieu starts off with a 3-pitch strikeout. That'll bring up Kurt Flood. Kurt Flood in the first ball game had 2 hits and 5 times up to raise his average to .305, a right-hand batter. And the swing at a slider, strike 1. On deck batter, Roger Maris. Mets have Craneful at first, Buchek at second base, Harrelson at short, and Ed Charles at third. Now the pitch back, a check in the swing, and it's in time. Pitch high and tight, ball 1. First ball thrown by Jack LeMay. In the outfield, Tommy Davis in left field, Cleon Jones in center field, Ron Swoboda playing the center field and right. The catcher, Jerry Grote, sending the signs out. And LeMay now with the 1-1 delivery. Breaking ball outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Coaching at first base, Dick Sisler for the Cardinals. At third base, Joel Schultz, former Major League catcher. 2 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch back to the plate is over. A called strike 2, a fastball letter high over the inside corner. Two and 2 with 1 away in the top of the first. And now LeMay back again, and the curveball is swung on and missed, strike 3. And Jack picks up his second strikeout. He has pitched to 2 batters. That brings up Roger Maris.
Number 9, Roger Maris.
Roger Maris batting .288 with 5 home runs and 25 runs batted in. He was a pinch hitter in the first ball game, hit into a double play. It was a crucial point in the ball game. Jack Fisher brought in the pitch to Roger, got him on 1 pitch to hit into a double play. He takes the first pitch here, and it's strike 1. Curveball breaking over. Fisher came in the game after Dennis Bennett had walked 2. He picked up a double play on 1 pitch and then another out to get the Mets out of an inning. A check on the swing, but it's in, strike 2. So LeMay is a strike away from striking out the side here in the top of the first. Now the right-hander peering in for the sign. Outfield straight away. And the 2-strike pitch. It is inside, a hard slider just off the inside corner, 1 and 2. Mets in this series have won 2 and lost 1. Now at 1-2, the pitch is hit out to shallow left field. Coming in is Tommy Davis. He is under the ball. He makes the catch, and side is retired in order. 2 strikeouts, a fly ball to left field, and the Cardinals are out in the top of the first. And the Mets coming up.
Zero in on performance and a feel of luxury that lets you know this is your car. Plymouth 1967. Zero in on savings and the kind of selection that lets you know this is your dealer. Armory Garage in Albany, where prices have never been better. The salesmen at Armory want to show you all the 67 Plymouths, Furies, and Belvederes. And then they want to show you how easy it is for you to own one. Your present car will probably cover the down payment, and the balance can be comfortably taken care of over 3 years or less. Choose from any one of Armory's 101 time payment plans. Armory has carloads of new cars in stock, ready for your inspection and immediate delivery. So swing into a new Plymouth Fury or Belvedere and make your choice now while the selection is high. Hurry to Armory Garage, central at Colvin in Albany, your Chrysler, Plymouth, and Volume headquarters.
The New York Mets coming up. Bottom half of the first inning, and the first batter will be Bud Harrelson. Bud scored the winning run in the first ball game for the Mets in the bottom half of the ninth inning. With one man out, Bud singled, stole second base, went to third on a throwing error, and then scored on a wild pitch. And the first pitch here, as Steve Carlton starts off a fastball over the outside corner, called strike. Harrelson batting right-handed against the left-hander, Steve Carlson. Bud is batting .264. And the next pitch is looked at. It's ball one. Harrelson in that first ball game had 3 hits and 5 times up. Now Carlson back, and the 1-1 pitch is taken at the knees, a called strike. Carlson, a big, tall left-hander, 6'4", 22 years of age. Weighs 195 pounds. He lives in Miami, Florida. This year he has won 5 and lost 5. Last year he was 3-3 and lifetime in the major leagues and even .500 with 8 wins and 8 losses. Now his next delivery is high. So the count 2-2. Carlton has a record of 1 win and no losses against the Mets. He has not faced them this year. And the left-hander kicks high and comes back at 2-2, and the ball is foul tipped. Ball bouncing out of the glove of Dave Ricketts, who is catching in this ball game. Orlando Cepeda at first base. Julian Javier at second base. Dow Maxwell at shortstop. Mike Shannon, who was great in right field in the first ball game, is playing third. Lou Brock in left field. Kurt Flood in center field. Roger Maris in right. Now at 2-2, the pitch is swung on and missed strike 3. So Carlton picks up a strikeout and pitching to his first batter. And the next man will be Cleon Jones.
Number 21, Cleon Jones. Number 21.
Cleon batting .205. Cleon has 3 home runs and 14 runs batted in. The first pitch is bounced out to second base. A 2-hopper for Javier. He fields the ball well, throws to first base for the out. Now 2 men away, and the batter will be Tommy Davis. Tommy drove in a run in the first ball game to raise his RBIs to 37. He had a base hit to center field in the 7th. Put the Mets within reach of the Cardinals. The Mets tied it up in the 8th and won it in the 9th. Tommy was 1 hit and 4 times up. Batting .297. And the first pitch is checked on, but not in time. It's strike 1. The Philadelphia Phillies scored 3 runs in the 8th inning and 3 runs in the 9th inning. A total of 6 runs in the last 2 innings to beat the San Francisco Giants 8-7. Now swing and a foul back. It's strike 2. Winning pitcher was Dick Hall, the losing pitcher McDaniel in relief. And the San Francisco Giants taking a tough loss, 8-7. Phillies got 14 base hits. The lineup schedule against the Pirates rained out. The end of 5 1/2. The Dodgers leading Houston 4-2. Now the next pitch is called a ball, 1-2. And the Cubs beat Cincinnati 4-1. Ferguson Dickens winning the ball game now has won 11. He's lost 5. He went all the way. Now the next delivery outside. It's ball 2. Cubs taking over first place by a half a game. In the National League race, that's their 6th win in a row, and they have won. Ground ball hit down the short. A chance for Maxwell. He throws the first base to retire the side. Cubs have won 21 of their last 26 games. Side out in order for the Mets in the bottom half of the first, and the score at the end of 1. The Mets nothing, the Cardinals nothing. Well, we'd like to remind you that a special night has been set up on July the 20th. It was a day off originally, but the Mets were rained out of a game with Houston, and they have filled that date in on July the 20th with a game with the Houston Astros. It's not only that, but it will be helmet night at Shea Stadium. Every boy and girl 16 years or under will receive a replica of the Mets batting helmet as he or she enters the stadium. The Mets will be playing a single game on that rescheduled date at Thursday, July the 20th. Make your plans right now. And for you fans living in Brooklyn and Staten Island, express bus service to Shea Stadium is again available this year. Buses leave from Flatbush Avenue and Nostrand Avenue in Brooklyn and from Bay Street and Borough Place in Staten Island. 2 hours before game time. Buses will go back, depart from Gate E here at Shea Stadium up to 30 minutes after the ball game. In the American League, the Yankees playing at California. No score after 1. Jim Downing going for the Yankees. McLaughlin going for the Angels. Detroit beat Chicago 3-0. Six-hit shutout pitched by Joe Sparmer. His record now 9-1. The losing pitcher, Gary Peters, he has a record of 10-4. Stanley and Freeman accounting for all the runs. And Detroit picking up a full game. They trail the White Sox by 4.5 games now. Cleveland scheduled against Baltimore for a twilight game. Minnesota beat Washington in the first game of the doubleheader 4-1. Dean Chance, the winning pitcher, his record now 11-6. The losing pitcher, passed Quall. And at the end of 8, Boston 2, Kansas City 1. Wozlowski pitching against Aker. Now the first pitch to Orlando Cepeda here in the top of the second. It's high for ball 1. Cepeda, a right-hand batter with a tremendous year going. He hits one into left center, a base hit, looping in. Coming over to hoping to cut it off is Cleon Jones. It goes on through, and Cepeda goes for 2. Jones has the ball. He fires it into Bud Harrelson, and Cepeda stops at second base. So Orlando Cepeda, who was batting .351, now picking up a 2-base hit, his 22nd this year. He leads the National League. And he is on at second base with the first base hit of the ball game. And the batter coming up is Mike Shannon. Cepeda in the first ball game had 2 hits and 3 times up, a double and a single, and now he has picked up his 3rd hit in 4 times at bat. Shannon with a home run in the first ball game, and the first pitch to him here is taken for a ball. Shannon now with 5 home runs and 38 runs batted in, batting .267. Now the right-hand batter ready, and the pitcher, Jack LeMay, back, and the pitch is hit off his hand. Foul into the stand. Shannon was trying to get away from a high inside fastball, and the ball hit right off the handle of the bat and glanced off foul into the stands. 1 ball, 1 strike. The key point of the first ball game for the Mets was when Mike Shannon was batting with runners at second and third. The pitcher was Hal Renniff, who was brought into the ball game to pitch to Shannon. Count got down to 3-2, and Shannon fouled off several pitches and then was called out on strikes to end the top of the ninth. Mets came on to win it in the bottom half of the ninth. Now a swing and a foul back. This time the foul against the screen back of home plate, and the count 1-2. During that sequence when he was hitting, Shannon drilled 2 line drives down the left field line that both curved foul. And Hal Renniff picked up his 2nd win in 2 days in his first 2 starts for the Mets. He was 0-2 with the Yankees. He's now 2-0 with the Mets. He pitched to 1 batter, picked up the win. Now the 1-2 pitch popped up into shallow left field. Going back is Bud Harrelson. He makes the call, and he makes the catch. Cepeda back to second base. The throw goes in there, but too late to pick up a force play. So the Mets now have their first out here in the top of the second. Cepeda still at second base, and the batter coming up, the catcher Dave Ricketts. Boston Red Sox keeping a tie for second place in the American League race. They defeated Kansas City 2-1, and they are now 4.5 games back of the league-leading Chicago White Sox, tied with Detroit. Detroit winning 3-0 over the White Sox. Winning pitcher was Wozlowski, his 2nd win since coming up from the minors. In his 2nd start, the losing pitcher was Hunter, and Foy had a home run in the 8th inning to win the ball game for the Red Sox. Now a slice ball down the third base line into left field, a base hit. Cepeda scoring from second base easily, going into second base with a slice double down the left field line by a left-hand batter, Dave Ricketts. And the Cardinals score the first run of the game. That brings up the second baseman, Julian Javier. And Ricketts has been tough against the Mets in this series. He was 3 for 4 yesterday, and now here he has picked up a base hit his first time up. He's 4 for 5. Tim McCarver not available for duty, and now a drive down the right field line. It'll go for extra bases. Ricketts scores from second base with no trouble. Javier is going to second on the third. Here comes the relay by Buchek. It'll be close, but the throw is offline, and Javier belly slides in with a triple. So the Cardinals go in the opposite direction, picking up 2 runs. The first one driven in with an opposite field double by Dave Ricketts, and now an opposite field double by Javier, making a triple by Javier, and the Cardinals lead by a score of 2-0. And the batter coming up is Sal Maxwell. Time has been called as Ricketts hands the towel to Javier. Javier in the dugout now dusting himself off. He made that belly slide in the third and picked up a lot of dirt. Run batted in for Javier, his 25th this year. Ricketts driving in a run, picked up his 5th this year. He has been at bat 31 times. Now Javier back to third base. And Maxwell coming up. Say the Rheingold Chug-a-Mug holds 12 ounces of Rheingold Extra Dry and has a pull tab so you don't need an opener. It's about the handiest way there is of quenching your thirst. And you'll find Chug-a-Mug on special display at your local stores in New York and New Jersey. Infield is in, and the first pitch to Maxwell is inside a ball. Maxwell, a right-hand batter, hitting .211. He has 15 runs batted in. Jack LeMahieu into the windup, and the pitch back to the plate. It's hit out to center field. It'll score a run. Cleon Jones moving back. He has no chance for a play at the plate. Doesn't even make a throw as Javier scores the third run for the St. Louis Cardinals in this ball game. All 3 of the runs coming here in the top of the second. In the first game, won by the Mets 5-4, the Cardinals had an early 3-0 lead. That'll bring up the pitcher, Steve Carlton. Carlton has been at bat 26 times with 4 hits. He's batting .164, and he takes the first pitch. It's called a ball. Now LeMahieu into the windup and back again. And the pitch is high. 2 balls, no strikes. LeMahieu struck out 2 in his first inning. And he gets a strike as he comes in with a slider over the outside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the next pitch is swung on and missed. 2-2. Carlton, a left-hand batter. The next pitch is drilled to deep right field. Swoboda going back to warning track. It is over his arm. Bounces against the wall on 1 hop, and Swoboda plays it off the wall, fires it on in, and another double in the inning as Carlton picks up 1. In this inning, 3 doubles and a triple, and Carlton with his 5th base hit this year. That is his first extra base hit. Now time is called as he gets the jacket out at second base. Some stirring in the bullpen for the Mets. They used 7 pitchers in the first ball game, which they won 5-4, and they had their 8th up, getting ready to throw if the Mets had not won it in the bottom half of the ninth. Bob Shaw, he was the last one available. Now Dick Selma, who was in the first ball game, starts to throw in the bullpen in this second game. The batter is Lou Brock, and the first pitch is fouled off, strike 1. Lou batting for the second time. He struck out his first time up. He's batting .296. Three runs in on 4 base hits here in the second, all extra base hits. Mets in their 1 time at bat, retired in order by Steve Carlton. Now Jack LeMahieu back again, and he catches the outside corner. Strike 2. Brock was struck out on 3 pitches his first time up. Got caught looking. Right here on 2 pitches, 2 strikes. And at 2 strikes, the pitch back is inside, and Brock has to spin away to keep from getting hit. 1-2. Pitch down around his belt. Brock has a very closed stance. His front foot up near the edge of the front part of the plate. Back foot deep. Now at 1-2, a curve is swung on and missed, strike 3, and Jack LeMay picks up his 3rd strikeout in the ball game and retires the side. But in the inning, the Cardinals score 3 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors. 1 batter left at second base. And the score after 1.5 innings, the Cardinals 3, the Mets nothing. Say, when Reingold and the Mets get together to run a contest, they don't fool around. No little fiddly payoffs every now and then. That's just not their style. Instead, Reingold is giving away 500 pairs of Met tickets every week during the contest. That's right, 1,000 tickets are won every single week by people like Glenn Goldberg and Mrs. Fee O'Neill. They and 498 others played Reingold's Score with the Mets game last week and won 2 tickets to a Met game. And they're still eligible for that grand prize of $10,000 and a trip to the World Series. You can play, too. Just figure out how many runs the Mets will have scored from their first game to the mid-season All-Star break on July the 9th. You don't even have to buy anything. Just pick up an official entry blank at your local store or tavern in New York or Connecticut where you see the contest display. And send us as many estimates as you want every week. That way, you'll not only increase your chances for the grand prize, but you could come off with a pair of tickets to Shea Stadium, too. Play the $10,000 Reingold game. We'd love to take you out to the ball game.
Ron Swoboda.
Bottom half of the second. Ron Swoboda coming up to bat for the first time. The Mets trailing by a score of 3-0. And the first pitch by Steve Carlton is hit right back through the middle. Almost cuts Carlton down and goes into center field for a base hit. So Ron Swoboda, who had 2 hits in the first ball game and 3 times up, gets his 3rd hit in the doubleheader. His average up to 260 now, and the batter coming up is Ed Charles. Mets get their first base hit. Ed Charles batting .260, a right-hand batter, and the first pitch to him is fouled off. Steve Carlton, 6'4", left-hander, working against the Mets. And the next delivery is called a strike. Strike 2. Mets have won 17 games at home now. They have lost 20. Winning the first ball game, a throw to first base, but Swoboda back without a tag. He had a short lead. Cardinals on the road have won 24 and lost 16 with their first game loss. Next pitch is swung on and foul tipped. Ball off the glove of Ricketts. He counts strike 2. And the Mets and Cardinals now have played 7 ball games, with the Mets winning 3 and the Cardinals winning 4. 2-strike count. Carlton back, and Charles takes low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the 1-2 pitch, breaking ball that stays up too far, and it's ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Carlton back, and the pitch is hit out to right center field. Moving over, going on the warning track is Curt Flood. He's back there. He makes the catch. And Swoboda, who is halfway down the line, goes back to first base. Drive to deep right center field. Now the next batter coming up is Jerry Buchek, and we'll pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
The tempo is right, the sound is bright on the Leon Kelly Show, weekdays 6:35 until midnight on the big bright sound of WGY Schenectady.
Ralph Kiner along with Bob Murphy and Lindsey Nelson. First pitch to Buchek is called a strike. Cardinals out in front 3-0. The Mets have Ron Swoboda at first base with one out here in the bottom half of the second. Jerry Buchek, former St. Louis Cardinal, batting .227. He was traded for Eddie Basu. And the next delivery, taken over the outside corner, strike two. Buchek was in bunting position. He didn't like the call. In that trade, the Mets picked up 10 years in age differential. Buchek, 24 years of age, and Eddie Basu, 34. Now the next pitch over the outside corner, strike three. So Buchek has called out the second strikeout for Steve Carlton, and that brings up Jerry Grody.
Batting in the seventh position, catcher, number 15, Jerry Grody.
Jerry Grody, right-hand batter with a .196 average. He has 3 home runs and 9 runs batted in. He got the home run, his third home run, in the first game of the series. Mets lost that game 4-1. Now the first pitch. It's down low, a ball. Swoboda with a short lead at first, and Carlton back, and a curveball is over, called a strike. Pitch over the inside corner, and Jerry Grody was backing out of the batter's box. Carlton has a big curveball. One ball, one strike. And now the next delivery, high fastball up out of the strike zone, ball two. Ricketts faking a throw toward first base. He was coming out in that direction and used the opportunity to bluff Ron Swoboda at first. Now Ron again with a short lead, and the 2-1 pitch is swung on and missed. The ball dropped by Ricketts, but Swoboda staying at first. Mets trail by 3 runs. The Cardinals getting 3 in the top of the second. Carlton back again. And the pitch is grounded out to second base. Javier waits for it. Comes up with the ball, throws to first base to reach out of the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, a man left at first base. And the score at the end of 2. The Cardinals 3, the Mets nothing.
Another bright idea from the folks who care. Bake the Tobin's First Prize tenderized ham you'll be getting for the upcoming holiday with a honey orange glaze. Cooked that way, no ham, even a First Prize ham, ever looked or tasted better. About 30 minutes before it's done, remove your First Prize ham from the oven. Score, stud with whole cloves, and apply the glaze, which you've made by mixing 1 cup honey, 1 cup brown sugar, and 1/2 cup orange juice. Then finish baking. Magnifique, as the French say. What else? A Tobin's First Prize tenderized ham, sugar-cured, hardwood smoked, pork tender. It's the holiday ham deluxe. The very best meat.
The very best meat.
Makes the very best meal.
Makes the very best meal.
So look for the meat.
So look for the meat.
With the First Prize seal.
With the First Prize seal.
First Prize products from the folks who care. Delicious.
Going to the top of the third. Cardinals coming up. And they lead in the ball game by a score of 3-0. Their first batter will be Curt Flood.
Center fielder, Curt Flood.
Curt struck out his first time up. He's batting second in the batting order. He'll be followed by Roger Maris and Orlando Cepeda. And the first pitch by Jack LeMahieu is called a strike. Now the right-hander back again. And the pitch is high and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the attendance here today on a beautiful day for baseball, 37,890. The Mets paid attendance, 37,100. Now ground ball back to LeMahieu. He makes a good play on the one hopper. Gets the ball with a one-hand stab and throws over to first base for the out.
Fielder, Roger Maris.
That brings up Roger Maris. Roger flied out to left field his first time up. Flood batting at 304. Roger Maris coming up, batting 287. 5 home runs, 25 runs batted in. And LeMahieu with the first pitch, a fastball that's fouled out of play. Cardinals 3 runs, 4 hits. The Mets have no runs and 1 hit. They won the first game 5-4. Mets scoring in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Now Roger Maris wants the second base umpire, Ken Burkhardt, to move out of the way. He was in line with the pitcher. So Ken moves. Now the next pitch popped up in the shallow left. Might drop in. Harrelson back. He can't get to it. It drops in front of Tommy Davis, and it's a base hit. Tommy taking the ball in one hop. So Maris gets a base hit. That brings up Orlando Cepeda, who doubled his first time up and scored the first run of the ball game. Cepeda's double, his 22nd double of the year. He leads the National League, and he is now batting .354. 10 home runs and 50 runs batted in. First pitch is fouled off. Strike one. One strike count on Orlando Cepeda. He is second in the National League batting race and moving up on Roberto Clemente. Tim McCarver, who is not here, is third. He's batting .341. He's doing some Army duty. Now a hard swing at a high slider. Strike two. Bob Tolan, Tim McCarver, and Alex Johnson are doing a weekend service stint in the Army Reserve in St. Louis. Two-strike pitch is swung on and fouled back against the screen. So the count remains at 0-2. Jack LeMahieu started his baseball career with the Philadelphia Philly organization. Now the two-strike delivery again. This one popped up. The first baseman, Eddie Kranepool, has it in sight, and he makes a catch right near the bag. Roger Maris staying on the bag, not moving on. So the Mets have their second out here in the top of the third, and the batter coming up is Mike Shannon. Mike popped up to the shortstop his first time up. Right-hand batter, batting .266. He had a home run in the first ball game, in the second deck down the left field line. Maris at first, and the first pitch is over the outside corner, a slider. Perfect pitch by Jack LeMahieu, strike one. Now LeMahieu sets again, and the pitch back is popped up in the shallow center field. Leon Jones broke back and now has to hustle in, but the ball is high enough for him to get to it. He makes the catch, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. And the score at the end of 2.5 innings, the Cardinals 3, the Mets nothing.
Whether you're buying your first or 10th car, it's time you become a smart car buyer and join the ranks of the thousands satisfied customers who shop Armory Garage, Central at Colvin, Albany. Here are the 3 basic rules for the smart car buyer. Select a model you want, and then 1, compare quality. Armory Garage boasts the largest selection of quality-tested late-model used cars in the area. 2, compare service. Armory's expert mechanics are qualified to service all the cars on the Armory lot. 3, compare price. Armory's tremendous volume assures you more for your car-buying dollar. Be a wise car buyer. Drive into Armory Garage and talk over your used car needs with sales manager Art Neat. Let him introduce you to Armory's easy terms. You can buy, sign, and pay at Armory, home of 101 time payment plans. Your credit is wealth at Armory. Follow the wise car buyer to Armory Garage, Central at Colvin, Albany.
We're going to the bottom half of the third. Mets are trailing 3-0 as they come up. The first batter will be Ed Kranepool. On the mound for the Cardinals, Steve Carlton. He has given up one base hit. And the first pitch to Kranepool is a curveball that's low and in the dirt, ball one. Ed faking a bunt on the pitch. Kranepool is batting .319, and he takes the next delivery low again. It's ball two. In the first ball game, Ed had 2 base hits, one of them a home run. He was 2 for 3, and he takes low again, ball 3. 3 balls, no strike. After Kranepool, the pitcher, Jack LeMay. And the 3-0 pitch, in for a called strike. California Angels have scored 3 runs in the bottom half of the fourth. They now lead the Yankees 3-1. 2 all-star pitchers going in that ball game. Al Downing for the Yankees and Jim McLaughlin for the Angels. Now the 3-1 delivery, hit foul, out of play. Count goes to 3-2. Detroit beat Chicago 3-0. Boston beat Kansas City 2-1. So they both pick up a full game on the White Sox. A ground ball down to second on a broken bat ground ball. Coming in to make the play is Javier, and the throw to first base in plenty of time. So Kranepool is out for the first out for the Mets in the third, and it brings up the pitcher, Jack LeMay.
Jack LeMay, 34.
Jack has been up 4 times this year with no hit. Both the Red Sox and Detroit, 4.5 games back of the White Sox, tied for second. First pitch is outside, a ball. Right here, the Cardinals have dropped to second place, with the Cubs winning today by a score of 4-1. The Cardinals win this ball game, they'll be tied for first. Now the next delivery, in for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. And called him back, and the pitcher swung on and missed. Strike 2. And the lanky left-hander back, and another swing and a miss, strike 3. And Carlton picks up his 3rd strikeout in the ball game. 2 men away now in the bottom half of the third, and the batter coming up is Bud Harrelson. Bud was the first strikeout victim. He struck out as leadoff batter for the Mets here in the first. But Bud was a hero of the first ball game as he won it in the bottom half of the ninth. And he hits the first pitch to right center. Could be extra bases. Going out is Roger Maris. He can't get to it. Will go on through it. Harrelson now on to second and going to third. Javier with the relay throw, and Harrelson slides in safely. Bud Harrelson with a 3-base hit up the alley in right center field, his 3rd this year. And the Mets have a runner at third base with 2 men out, and Cleon Jones coming up. Harrelson in the first ball game had 3 hits and 5 times up. He is now 1 for 2 in this one. Prior to that, he was 3 for 3 with 2 walks in the ball game. Cleon Jones, the batter. Cleon hit the first pitch his first time up down to second base. Batting .204, and the first pitch to him this time is a curveball low. Ball 1. Now Carlton back, and Jones with a hard swing at a fastball about knee high, and the count 1-1. Cleon has driven in 14 runs this year. Mets are trailing 3-0. They have Harrelson at third base with 2 men out in the bottom half of the third. Next pitch is swung on and missed. Now the count at 1-2. Jones stepping out of the batter's box after the swing, now slowly getting back in. Carlton takes the sign from Dave Ricketts. And he goes into the windup, and the 1-2 pitch is swung on him. That's strike 3, and Carlton with 3 fastballs picks up his 4th strikeout, leaving Bud Harrelson at third base. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, and 1 man left in the score. At the end of 3, the Cardinals 3, the Mets nothing. Fans, you can get tickets for all the home games of the Mets at a wide variety of locations at Shea Stadium. They're open 8 to 6 on weekdays and 9 to 5 on Saturdays and Sundays. Tickets also available at Grand Central Station at the foot of the 42nd Street and Vanderbilt Avenue ramp. Open weekdays from 8 to 6 and Saturdays from 8:30 to 4. Tickets available at Macy's at the 34th Street and 7th Avenue store on the main floor, and at Macy's in the Walt Whitman Shopping Center in Huntington, Long Island. Both locations open during regular store hours. In addition, reservations for box and reserve seats may be made at all the Howard Clothing stores during regular store hours, and also at any branch of the Manufacturers Hanover Trust Company during banking hours. Tickets can be obtained by mail by writing Ticket Manager, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York. The zip code is 11368. Box seats are $3.50 each. Reserve seats are $2.50 each. And be sure to add 25 cents to cover the mailing cost. Right now, we're going to the top of the 4th inning, and to take you along the way with the play-by-play, Bob Murphy.
All right, Ralph. Dave Ricketts will lead off against Jack LeMabe in the 4th inning. Ricketts fell away from an inside delivery and hit a ground ball between Charles and the bag down the left field line for a run-scoring double in the 2nd. He's had 4 hits and 5 times at bat in this series. Left-hand hitter, the pitch by LeMabe. Fastball, a strike on the inside corner. Fly ball hit in the air to center field. Cleon Jones galloping in. Davis comes in. Cleon takes the catch. They almost collided in left center field, and Cleon caught the ball. 1 out and nobody on. It brings up Julian Javier. Javier hit a line drive triple into the right field corner, driving home Dave Ricketts with one of the 3 runs scored by the Cardinals in the 2nd. Now LeMabe has his sign from Grody, and the pitch is taken high. 1 ball and no strikes. Tom Seaver against Bob Bolin as the excitement gets underway with the Giants in town tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Around comes the right arm of Jack LeMabe, and a curve is on the outside corner. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. We've had a beautiful day for the doubleheader. Some cloud cover at times. The sun, though, has been continually breaking through. Right now, the playing field is flooded by sunshine. The 1-1 delivery. Fastball, a strike on the outside corner. Mets won the opener in the last of the 9th inning, 5-4. Once again, they scramble from behind to win. One ball, 2 strikes to count on Julian Javier. Breaking ball outside and low, 2-2. Javier hitting .298. Julian is about 10 pounds heavier this year, and the added weight seems to have helped him in his hitting. Javier has been the Cardinals' regular second baseman for the last 6 years. Now LeMabe delivers 2-2. It's a slow grounder hit down to third. Charles has it near the edge of the grass. Throws in time for the out. 2 up and 2 set aside by Jack LeMabe. It brings up Dal Maxville. Maxville drove in a run with a sacrifice fly to center field in the 2nd. His fly ball to center enabled Javier to tag up and come down and score. St. Louis, bunching extra base hits, got 3 runs on 4 extra base hits in the second inning. And a swing and a miss by Maxville, strike 1. Jack LeMay winds. Down comes the pitch. A hit high into the air. A fly ball to shallow left. Backpedaling, Bud Harrelson, the arm signal, and he makes the catch. Strong inning for Jack LeMay. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. Now, at the end of 3 1/2, the Cardinals 3, the New York Mets nothing.
Mets fans, imagine if you can the glorious Mets in person at Shea Stadium. Try to visualize the excitement of big league baseball. The triumphant Mets face-to-face with the Los Angeles Dodgers. All yours, absolutely free. See Tommy Davis, Yogi Berra, Wes Westrom, and the whole team. Win a pair of tickets to the Mets game coming up Sunday, July 23rd. Just send a card to Glorious Mets, WGY Schenectady. You may win 2 free tickets to the Dodgers-Mets game on July 23rd. Our most recent ticket winners are Kurt Brown of Del Mar and John P. D'Annunzio of Waterville Elite. What else? Make it easy on yourself when you tune in all the evening and weekend Mets games here on WGY. And get a handy-dandy WGY program schedule that gives all the times, dates, and places of Mets baseball on WGY. For a WGY Mets schedule, write Mets Schedule, WGY Schenectady. You'll be glad you did.
Last of the 4th inning, New York behind 3-0. Tommy Davis hitting against Steve Carlton. Tommy had 1 for 4, a run-scoring base hit in the opener. He drove in a big run. He drove in the 3rd run of the game. And Espada down the third base line. Bare hand pickup. Picked by Shannon. He throws it away. Ball caroms into right field, but bounces favorably for the Redbirds. And Tommy Davis has to hold on at first base. A bunt single by Tommy Davis. He bunted that one as straight as a string down the third base line. Tommy with a base hit in the opener and now a bunt single in this ball game. Now has a total of 80 hits for the year. Now Ron Swoboda coming up. Ron singled to center his first time up. 3 for 4 in the doubleheader. Orlando Cepeda holding against the runner. And the pitch by Carlton off the outside corner, ball 1. Bunt single by Tommy Davis, the 3rd hit given up by Steve Carlton. Now the pitch. And the left-hander bends the curveball in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Left-hander Steve Carlton has won 5 and lost 5. The 1-1 pitch. A towering pop foul. Ricketts coming back, mask in hand, has no play. It's going to land in the crowd. Steve Carlton with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes on Ron Swoboda. Carlton, a tall left-hander. He stands 6'4", weighs about 195. Now he checks the runner, and the pitch to Ron. Swing and a miss. He got him. He curved him to strike him out. That's 5 strikeouts for Steve Carlton. 1 out and 1 on. Charles coming up. Ed hit a long fly ball his last time up. It was run down right out by the fence at the 396 mark by Kurt Flood. Mets trailing 3-0. We're in the last half of the 4th inning. It is under the knees. 1 ball, no strikes. Now Tommy Davis bills the lead off first, draws a throw, and scampers back. Carlton in the set position again throws to first, and Tommy Davis is back. Mets have had one hit in each of the last 3 innings. And a third throw to first base, not in time. Carlton with 3 in a row over to first base, keeping an eye on Tommy Davis. Now the pitch. A drive well hit to left. Racing back is Brock near the wall. He's got it. Right in front of the fence in left field, and Tommy Davis hurries to get back. Two men away, and that ball was well hit. Charles has been up twice, hit the ball hard both times. Brock got an excellent jump on that. The ball was not very high in the air. It was more of a line drive, and Brock went all the way back to the wall to get it. Now Jerry Buchek, the hitter against Steve Carlton. Here's the pitch on the way, and the breaking ball is low, 1 ball and no strikes. Charles has had 2 long drives flagged down. Ground ball hit hard to short, handled by Maxwell. He steps on second for the force play, and the side is out. In the 4th inning, New York, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. And at the end of 4, the Cardinals 3 and the Mets nothing.
Armory Garage is one of those companies that never stops trying to improve their business. They're proving that fact every day at the corner of Central and Colvin in Albany. Instead of sitting back smugly, knowing Armory Garage is the biggest volume dealer of used cars in the area, sales manager Art Neat tries to improve sales and service daily. For example, at Armory, you'll find easier credit. If you have the ability to pay, they'll say okay and set up a time payment plan custom tailored to your budget. Because of the tremendous volume of new cars sold weekly at Armory Garage, the selection of used cars is unrivaled. You'll find wagons, convertibles, 2- and 4-door sedans, from economy models to prestige automobiles, priced to move. And to keep that car on the move in top condition, Armory mechanics are trained to service all makes and models sold on the Armory lot. For the very best car buy, try Armory Garage first. They're located at Central at Colvin in Albany, open daily, including all day Saturday.
In the 5th inning here at Shea Stadium, Steve Carlton leads off against Jack LeMay. For those of you joining us late, the Mets won the opener 5-4, coming from behind and winning the game in the last of the 9th inning. It is taken high by Carlton, ball 1. He hit a drive over Ron Swoboda's head for a 2-base hit his only time up in the 2nd. Swing and a miss, and he gave that one quite a cut as he went after the fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch by LeMay, a swing and a miss. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitching 1 and 2. He tries to drag a bunt and he misses, strike 3. Right here we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
Hi, neighbor. When the rooster crows at 5:45 a.m., it's time for the Chanticleer. At 12:15, tune in for the Farm Paper here on WGY, Schenectady.
Bob Murphy with Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Kainer from Shea Stadium. 1 out and nobody on, top of the 5th inning. St. Louis in front, 3-0, and the hitter is Lou Brock. Lou has been up twice and been struck out twice. And he hits this one down the left field line. It may go foul. Davis in pursuit, and it's over into the crowd, out of play. Jack LeMay has now struck out 4. His mound opponent, Steve Carlton, has struck out 5. Now LeMay cranks it up. Down comes the pitch, hit foul, swung on late, and hit back toward the crowd. A 2-strike count on Lou Brock. Brock is hitting .295. 13 home runs and 45 runs batted in. Orlando Cepeda leads the Cardinals in runs batted in. Orlando has knocked 50 runs in. 45 RBIs, a lot of RBIs for a leadoff hitter. Outside and high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. This Brock has tremendous power for a leadoff batter, but he has that great speed, and you want him up there. The 1-2 pitch. Hit high in the air to left field. It's deep, but back goes Tommy Davis to the warning track, and he has it. 2 men away in the top of the 5th. Now the center fielder, Curt Flood. Davis had to range back into the left field corner for that fly ball. Curt Flood has struck out and bounced back to the mound, nothing for 2. Curt had 2 for 5 in the first game. LeMahieu winds. Down comes his pitch. Hit late. Foul back into the crowd. Strike 1. Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, and the Giants here tomorrow night. Game time, 7 p.m. Swing and a miss. He went after a good fastball by Jack LeMahieu, and the count is strike 2. Two-strike delivery. That one just missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dick Hughes, the Cardinal starter in the first ball game, is a very rapid worker. Fine-looking pitcher. And Jack LeMahieu, settling into a good groove now, has been wasting very little time. He's a fast worker. The 1-2 pitch. And it's hit foul down the right field line. No play. It took the Cardinals' 29-year-old rookie, Dick Hughes, a number of years to get good control. And now that he has it, he looks like quite a pitcher. LeMahieu delivers 1 and 2, and it's punched foul back up into the crowd. No play. Following this long homestand, it brings us right up to the midseason All-Star break. The Mets will have a brief road trip, and they'll visit Cincinnati and St. Louis. An unusual series in St. Louis. They'll play Sunday and Monday and then come home. The 1-2 pitch. Hit high in the air. A fly ball to short center. Cleon Jones jogging in, has his eye on it, and he puts it away for the out. And Jack LeMahieu has now settled into a good groove and retired 8 hitters in a row. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. So we've come halfway. At the end of 4 1/2, the Cardinals 3, the New York Mets nothing. Now,
have you heard what's going on at Gulf service stations? It's Big Tire Days at Gulf. Gulf dealers are now featuring outstanding values on the big tires, the Gulf Deluxe Crown. The Gulf Deluxe Crown is big in safety, big in mileage, big in value. You'll find big values on other Gulf tires, too, during Big Tire Days. And remember, when you buy Gulf tires with a Gulf travel card, there's no down payment, no carrying charges, and months to pay. Big Tire Days are going on at Gulf. Get in on them.
now the home 5th inning here at Shea Stadium, and Jerry Grody will be up against the tall left-hander, Steve Carlton. Jerry, 0 for 1, was thrown out by Julian Javier, the Redbird second baseman, his initial time at bat. Now the windup by Carlton. Here's the pitch. Grody, bluffing at a bunt, didn't offer, and the pitch was low, ball 1. Bob Bolin pitching for the Giants tomorrow night. And Tom Seaver goes for his 7th win for New York. Hit high in the air, a fly ball to short center. Flood drifting in, looking through the sunglasses, and he puts it away for the out. 1 out and nobody on. Now Eddie Cranepool. Eddie had 2 for 3, including a home run, his 4th of the year at the opening ball game. His home run was a well-hit drive that carried into the Mets bullpen in right field. Left-hander against left-hander, and the pitch on the outside corner, a called strike. Bill Dennehy pitched for Jacksonville this afternoon. Breaking ball outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jacksonville has been going great guns of late. They've come from 8th place into the 1st division. Jacksonville Suns beat Toledo 7-4. Off the outside corner, 2-1. Dennehy was the starter. He got help from Jerry Koosman in the 9th inning. Koosman has been pitching very good ball. Home runs by Ken Boswell in the 4th, nobody on, and by Johnny Lewis in the 6th with a man on. Keep your eye on Ken Boswell. He just got out of the service recently. The 2-2 delivery, and it's low to Cranepool, ball 3, 3-2. Payoff delivery by Carlton, bounced over the mound towards second, charged by Javier. The sidearm peg in time to get Eddie Cranepool. 2 outs and nobody on, last of the 5th inning. Mets trail 3-0, and the batter is Jack LeMay. Jack is 0 for 1. He was struck out his only time up. Jack LeMay has been up only 5 times this year, no hits. And a breaking ball, he checked his swing in time, ball 1. The amazing Bud Harrelson now has brought his average up to 266. Swing and a miss, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bud now has 8 base hits in his last 11 official times at bat. The 1-1 pitch is too high. LeMay doesn't offer, 2-1. Now the windup pitched by Steve Carlton, and his fastball is high, 3-1, so he goes behind the opposing pitcher, 3-1. Carlton has had superb control. He has not given up a walk, and for the most part has worked ahead of the hitters. 3-1 pitch. Ball 4, and he walks LeMay. That brings up Bud Harrelson. It's wonderful to hear the reception that Harrelson gets when he comes up these days. He has really won a place in the hearts of the Mets fans. Bud had such a horrible start this year, both fielding and hitting. The month of April was a nightmare for him, but since then he's been Mr. Marvelous. Inside is ball 1. His improvement has been tremendous. He hit under 200 the month of April. Foul ball back, no play. 1 ball, 1 strike. But for the month of May, he hit about 254, and the month of June just ended, he hit 265. The month of July, he's really tearing it up so far. However, this is only the 2nd day. Outside and high, it's 2-1. For the month of July, Bud already has 7 base hits in 10 times up. A foul fly hit down the right field line and over into the field box area. So the count is 2-2 on Bud Harrelson. In this game, Bud has been struck out and tripled to right center. At this point, the Mets have been held to 3 hits by Carlton. The 2-2 pitch Just got a piece of it, a foul ball, and it struck the mask of umpire Billy Williams. And Billy Williams makes a bad throw that goes into center field. New York trailing 3-0. Jack LeMahieu is on first, 2 men away. The Cardinals need a win for a first-place tie with the Cubs. The 2-2 pitch. Wild pitch. LeMahieu goes on to second. That went way over the head of catcher Dave Ricketts and all the way to the backstop. Right now, the two Chicago teams are both in first place. If the Cardinals win the nightcap of this doubleheader, the Cardinals and Cubs will be in a flat-footed tie for first place in the National League. The 3-2 delivery. Foul ball back up toward our broadcasting booth. No play. Jack LeMahieu on second. It's 3-2 on Bud Harrelson. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Carlton gets Harrelson with a high rising fastball. He throws hard. That's his 6th strikeout of the game. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. And at the end of 5, St. Louis 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The New York Mets, no runs, 3 hits, and no errors. Well, for all the wonderful New York Mets fans who have been such great and loyal rooters, who have sweated it out as the Mets have tried to put together an organization, scout and sign young talent. A special night next Saturday night, old-timers night here at Shea Stadium when the Mets playing the Atlanta Braves. Fun and nostalgia because the 1962 Mets are being invited back, the original cast. Casey Stengel, who managed the ball club, now a member of the Hall of Fame, will be on hand to direct his charges once again. He'll have Ken McKenzie, Jay Hook, Bob Miller, Roger Craig, Carl Willey to call on, along with Sherman Roadblock Jones for pitching. And he can round out his cast with Hobie Landreth, Frank Thomas, Richie Ashburn, Gus Bell, Jim Marshall, Gene Woodling, Charlie Neal, and Hot Rod Keneal. And the 60 Yankees will be on hand to play the 62 Mets. It's going to be a world of fun, so don't miss it. Old Timers Night, next Saturday night here at Shea Stadium. The Old Timers ceremonies will get underway at 7 p.m. So make your plans this week and get your tickets. In the 6th inning, Roger Maris comes up against Jack LeMahieu. Roger has flied to left and reached on a Texas League single to left. Changeup hit on the ground hard. Cranepool cuts it off going toward the hole. Throws to LeMahieu covering in time for the out. Nifty fielding play by Eddie Cranepool. Now Orlando Cepeda. It was Cepeda who started the uprising for the Cardinals in the 2nd inning when he doubled to left center field. Orlando Cepeda and the Mets' Tommy Davis have been battling each other for the National League lead in 2 base hits. Cepeda now has 22. Tommy Davis has 19. The Mets club record in doubles is 28, held by Ron Hunt and tied last year by Ken Boyer. One out and nobody on as Jack LeMahieu pitches to Cepeda. Grounder hit toward the hole, cut off by Ed Charles. He turns around, throws to first, 2 men down. So 2 up and 2 set aside by Jack LeMahieu. And that brings up Mike Shannon, the 3rd baseman. Shannon has popped to short and flied to center. He's been a heavy hitter in this series. He's hit 2 home runs in the series, each with a man on. His 4th and 5th of the year. Now the pitch on the way. He tries to bunt and misses, strike one. In each of the games that Shannon has homered, the Mets have rallied to come from behind and win. And Shannon now is fussing with Billy Williams. He says he didn't offer at that ball. He's pretty hot about it. Now Mr. Billy Williams gives him a final word. A one-strike pitch by LeMahieu, and Shannon hits the dirt to get out of the way. 1 ball, 1 strike. St. Louis leading 3-0. We're in the top half of the 6th inning. LeMahieu's pitch to Mike Shannon is low and outside. 2 balls and a strike. Mets were in need of a strong pitching performance this second ball game after using 7 pitchers in the opener. LeMahieu was held back. He's pitching this game. Fever was held back. He pitches tomorrow night. The only other pitcher not working was Bob Shaw. And a swing and a miss. The count is even, 2-2. Had the Mets not won the game in the last of the 9th inning, Bob Shaw would have come on to pitch in the 10th. The 2-2 delivery is outside, ball 3, 3-2. Had Bob Shaw come in the 10th, and the game gone about 18 innings, he'd have been going all that way. Pitching 3-2. Foul ball back over the screen. Jack LeMahieu with a 3-2 count on Mike Shannon. 2 outs, nobody on in the 6th inning. Now the payoff pitch, and he hits it in the air to center field. Cleon Jones taps his glove, comes in a stride, and takes it for the out. And Mr. Jack LeMahieu has now retired 11 consecutive Cardinals. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. And at the end of 5 1/2, St. Louis 3, New York 0.
Mets fans, imagine if you can the glorious Mets in person at Shea Stadium. Try to visualize the excitement of big league baseball. The triumphant Mets face-to-face with the Los Angeles Dodgers. All yours, absolutely free. See Tommy Davis, Yogi Berra, Wes Westrom, and the whole team. Win a pair of tickets to the Mets game coming up Sunday, July 23rd. Just send a card to Glorious Mets, WGY Schenectady. You may win 2 free tickets to the Dodgers-Mets game on July 23rd. Our most recent ticket winners are Kurt Brown of Del Mar and John P. D'Annunzio of Waterville Elite. What else? Make it easy on yourself when you tune in all the evening and weekend Mets games here on WGY. And get a handy-dandy WGY program schedule that gives all the times, dates, and places of Mets baseball on WGY. For a WGY Mets schedule, write Mets Schedule, WGY Schenectady. You'll be glad you did.
The batter is Cleon Jones facing Steve Carlton. We're in the last of the 6th inning with the Redbirds in front, 3-0. And a curve for a strike on the inside corner. Cleon has grounded out and struck out, nothing for 2. St. Louis, 3 runs, 5 hits. New York, no runs and 3 hits. Now the pitch on the way. And Cleon held up on his swing in time, and the ball broke low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Red Shea didn't like it. And now Billy Williams points a finger to that Cardinal dugout. Here comes Red Shea out of the dugout. Red didn't like the call on that half swing. He waved his cap in the air and walked the floor of the dugout, and now Red is coming out. I don't know whether he's been thrown out of the ball game or not. Now Billy Williams is pointing to Red, saying, go back to the dugout. And the likable Huckleberry Finn of baseball, Red Shandies, is really in a jarring match. He's thrown out of the ball game. Billy Williams has just thrown Red Shandies out. Now they'll have a good argument. And Billy wasted little time in banishing Red Shandies, and Red is hot. Vargo, the third base umpire, trying to step between Williams and Shandies. Frank Sikori, the crew chief, is coming up to the plate now to see if he can make peace. Red didn't like the half call that went in favor of Cleon Jones from the New York Mets. He was standing in the near corner of the dugout. He just kind of whirled around, waved his cap in the air. He didn't throw his cap, and walked to the other end of the dugout, and Billy Williams wheeled and pointed toward the dugout. Then Red came out. They got into an argument, and Billy Williams tossed Shandies out. So Red has been banished by Billy Williams. Now the pitch to Cleon, a swing and a foul tip. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Red Shandies was so hot about being thrown out by Billy Williams that when Red left the dugout to go down through the runway back to the clubhouse, he took the lineup cards with him. The 1-2 delivery. Ground ball hit down to third, a big hop for Mike Shannon, and he pegs to first in time for the out. Cleon Jones retired in the last of the 6th inning. So Dick Sisler was in pursuit of Red to get the lineup cards. Very rarely does Red Shandies get thrown out of a ball game. They're in the last of the 9th inning at Houston now. The Dodgers and the Astros are tied 4-4. Phil Regan and Carol Simbera are in the ball game in relief. The Astros just got a run in the last of the 9th inning to win it. 5-4, Simbera the winner and Regan the loser. Crowd of almost 27,000. Here's the pitch to Tommy Davis, and he fouls it high into the air, back toward the crowd, no play. St. Louis in front, 3-0. We're at the last of the 6th inning. Cardinals need a win to share first place with the amazing Cubs. It's outside now to Tommy Davis. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tommy has bounced to short, and his last time up, he laid down a beautiful bunt and beat it out for a hit. He pops it high in the air, foul, back to the crowd, no play. Houston 5, Los Angeles 4, a final score. Phillies won a big one today. They were far behind and rallied with 3 in the 8th and 3 in the 9th inning to beat the Giants 8-7. The Cubs beat Cincinnati 4-1 with Fergie Jenkins winning his 11th game of the year. National League now has 3 11-game winners. The 1-2 pitch. Lined in the air to right field, cutting over Ismaris toward the line, and he has it for the out. Ball was hit hard to the opposite field by Tommy Davis. In the National League, Juan Marichal, Claude Osteen of the Dodgers, and Ferguson Jenkins of the Cubs have all won 11 games. Yankees 4, the Angels 3. They've played 5.5. Joe Sparma shut out the White Sox, Detroit winning 3-0. They're just underway in the Cleveland-Baltimore game. Cleveland out in the first, no score. And Swoboda fouls the ball back toward the press level. Dean Chance won his 11th as Minnesota beat Washington 4-1. Swing and a miss by Ron, and the count is strike 2. The second game, Minnesota 2, Washington 1 at the end of 3. Coleman against Merritt. And the Red Sox kept pace with Detroit in the second place tie, beating Kansas City 2-1. It's off the outside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Joe Foy won that game for the Red Sox with an 8th inning home run. It was a three-hitter by rookie Gary Wozlowski. Drive hit in the air to center field. Flood galloping in. Can't get it. It's a base hit. It bounces off his shins. And Ron Swoboda gets an extra base going into second. That'll be scored as a double. Flood trying to grab the ball in the short hop. It hit his shins and caromed away. And Ron picked up the extra base going into second, and it's a double. Ron Swoboda, 2 for 3 in the first game, and now he's 2 for 3 in this game. 4 hits in 6 times at bat. Now the hitter is Ed Charles, and he's really hitting tough luck. He's been up twice and had 2 long drives caught. And he holds up on a change-up breaking ball. 1 ball and no strike. Charles hit a ball that Flood caught against the 396 mark in right center. And hit a drive that Brock caught against the wall in left field, 371. Now Carlton delivers low and outside, 2 balls and no strikes. St. Louis 3, New York nothing. We're in the last half of the 6th inning. The 2-0 delivery. It's popped up this time by Charles into short center. Javier is trailing out into the outfield, and Javier takes it for the out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. And at the end of 6, the St. Louis Cardinals 3, the New York Mets nothing. And Lindsey Nelson will be with you in just a moment. Now here's a word from Rango.
Look, you can't pull the wool over their eyes. You can't get the public around here. One over on these guys, and they'll cut you right out on your ear. In this town, either you have it or you don't. Either you're a pro or you won't get very far. Hey!
There are 302 beers trying to make it in New York, from all over. But only one beer has made it to the top. The rich, dry lager, Rheingold. In this town, either you have it or you don't.
In this town, either you have it or you don't. Either you're a pro or you won't get very far. Either you have it or you don't.
Rheingold.
Number 10.
We're going now to the 7th inning. Before we do, we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is Bill Edwards. You know the sun rises and sets on my radio shows. Join me weekdays 7 to 10 a.m., 3 to 6 p.m. on the Big Bright Sound here on WGY, Schenectady.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner at Shea Stadium, and Dave Ricketts, a switch hitter batting left, is up to lead off here for the Cardinals. Double to drive and a run and fly to center so far. LeMahieu's pitch is grounded foul. Back of first, glove by Kranepool. With Dick Sisler now running the Cardinals in the enforced absence of Red Schoendienst, Billy Muffet, the pitching coach, has taken over at first base, and Sisler is running the club from the dugout. Julian Javier is on deck. The Cardinals are leading by a score of 3-0. They scored 3 runs in the top half of the 2nd inning, and that has been the scoring in this game. The Mets won the first game 5-4. It is inside for a ball. It's 1-1. Jack LeMahieu with a 1-1 delivery. Curveball, and misses outside. John Romano was the Cardinal catcher in the first game. Tim McCarver is on Army Reserve duty in St. Louis for the weekend. He'll be available to the Cardinals when they get home tomorrow. Take on Cincinnati Reds. Here's a pitch. Swung out and hit in the air deep to right. It's way back there. Going, and Swoboda goes back and makes the catch at the wall. Edwin carried a long way across the warning track and right at the wall. Swoboda hauled it down. 1 away. Julian Javier tripled to drive in a run and later scored in the 2nd inning and grounded out 3rd to 1st in the 4th. He's a right-hand batter. Babe takes a moment, wiping his brow. Now he goes to the rosin bag. Javier is batting number 7 in the Cardinal batting order. He batted number 2 in the batting order in the first game when the Mets started the left-hander. Here's a swing and a miss. Strike one. There's action now in the Met bullpen as Dick Selma gets up to throw. Swing and a foul tip back into the glove of Jerry Grody. The count to Javier is 2 strikes. The number 6 man in the Met batting order will be scheduled to lead off in the next inning, so manager Wes Rustum has started Dick Selma throwing, along with Don Shaw. Here's a pitch outside now, and it's 1-2 to Javier with 1 man out and nobody on base. LeMay breathes a sign, and the 1-2 pitch. In there for a call, strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for LeMay. 2 away for the Cardinals in the 7th, and Darryl Maxwell's coming up. Sacrifice fly to center to drive in a run in the 2nd inning. Popped out to short in the 4th inning. Did not bat in the first game. Came on in the late innings to play short. Ed Brissou was the starting shortstop in the first game. LeMay starts him out with a curveball outside. It's ball 1. Steve Carlton is waiting on deck. 1-0 delivery. Swung on it in the air to center field. Cleon Jones will have a long run in, and he gets out a one-handed for the out. So the side is out. No runs, no hits, nor is none left in the middle of the 7th. The score is the Cardinals 3 and the Mets nothing.
When you buy a new car, it's the dealer that makes the difference. That's why it's time for you to head for Armory Garage, Central at Colvin in Albany, where there's a Plymouth or Chrysler to fit every pocketbook. You know that you can buy the same car from any Plymouth dealer, and you'll get the same warranty. The difference lies in the deals. Armory Garage is the area's volume Plymouth dealer. Volume sales allow Armory Garage to offer you that new car for less, so you can afford the model and size you want. When it comes to warranties, the 5-year, 50,000-mile Chrysler Products warranty can't be beat, especially when it's backed up by the Armory Garage Service Department. For best selection, best price, and best trade, see Armory Garage. Remember, you can buy, sign, and pay at Armory Garage, home of 101 time payment plans. Head for Armory Garage, Central at Colvin in Albany.
The New York Mets trail by 3 runs as they come up here in the bottom of the 7th. Jerry Buchek is up to lead off. He has been called out on strikes and grounded into a force play so far. Carlton delivers, and the pitch is low for a ball. Steve Carlton, a young left-hander, has struck out 5 and walked 1. He has allowed the Mets only 4 base hits in the ball game so far. Zips this one in low, and it's 2-0. The Mets fans are coming alive here. In support of the home cause, the Mets pulled out the opening game of this doubleheader today by scoring a run to win it in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Final score was Mets 5 and the Cardinals 4. Al Reniff, on his 29th birthday, got credit for the victory, his second in as many days in a Met uniform since coming over from the Yankees. The pitch is in for a called strike. Buchek was taking, and it's 2-1. Now the pitch is swung on and lined into center. Kurt Flood's coming on. He can't get it. He one-hops the ball, plays it back. It's a leadoff single for Buchek. So the Mets pick up a base runner with nobody out, and catcher Jerry Grody's coming up. He is grounded out second to first and slide out to center field. He is a right-hand batter, facing left-hand pitcher Steve Carlton. And we're getting a little stirring around down in the Cardinal bullpen now. Going to get a little action down there. Carlton off the stretch, and the pitch is swung on and missed for strike one. Left-hander Joe Horner, right-hander Nelson Briles are throwing now in the Cardinal bullpen. Horner was the losing pitcher in the first game when Briles unleashed a wild pitch that allowed the winning run to score. Throw over to first is not in time, and Bob Johnson has come out now on deck as a prospective pinch hitter for left-hand batter Ed Cranepool, who is due up next. Carlton off the stretch with a strike one pitch to Grody, and it's swung on and missed. A breaking ball. So it's 0-2 now to Grody. Orlando Cepeda's holding against the runner at first. Cardinals lead 3-0. Pitch to Grody, swung on, hit in the air to left field. Brock retreats and now has to turn and come back in, and he makes the catch halfway on the fly ball to left. Jerry Buchek comes back to first, and Bob Johnson comes up to bat for Cranepool. Manager Wes Westrom let left-hand batter Ed Cranepool go up there twice against the left-hand pitcher, Steve Carlton. Cranepool grounded out both times. So now Bob Johnson's being sent up. He appeared as a pinch hitter in the first game. Pops out. Tim Boyer comes out on deck as a prospective pinch hitter for pitcher Jack LeMay, due up next. Pitch to Johnson. Hit in the air to right field. Coming over is Maris. He has good position. He makes the catch, and going back to first now is Buchek. Two away, and Boyer is going to bat for LeMay. It was Boyer who came on with a home run to tie the score in the first game and set it up for the Mets to win it in the bottom of the ninth. Ken Boyer has an overall season's batting average of .234 with 2 homers and 11 runs batted in. The end of this half inning, we'll bring you up to date on all the scores of other games around the Major League. Steve Carlton now off the stretch. Pitch to Boyer, and it's low and away for a ball. Boyer has been a terror at the plate this season against his former teammates, the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's a 1-0 delivery. Swung on, hit in the air to center field. Kurt Flood comes in and waits and puts it away. So the side is out. No runs a hit, no errors, 1 left. The score at the end of 7 full innings is the Cardinals 3 and the Mets nothing. Now scores of other games. First in the National League, the Philadelphia Phillies scored 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth to beat the San Francisco Giants 8-7. Dick Ellsworth started for the Phils. They used Larry Jackson in relief in the 5th. John Boozer in the 8th. Dick Hall came on in the 9th and was the winning pitcher. Ray Sadecki started for the Giants. Frank Lindsay in the 8th. Lindy McDaniel in the 9th, and McDaniel was the loser. The Atlanta Braves were scheduled against the Pirates in Pittsburgh, postponed because of rain in Pittsburgh. They never did get started. The Houston Astros scored a run in the bottom half of the 9th inning to beat the Los Angeles Dodgers 5-4. Wade Blasting game started for Houston. Barry Latman in the 6th. Carol Cimbera in the 7th. Cimbera was the winner. Bill Singer started for the Dodgers. Bob Miller in the 6th. Phil Regan in the 9th, and Regan was the loser. And the Chicago Cubs moved into first place in the National League with a 4-1 victory over the Cincinnati Reds. Ferguson Jenkins became an 11-game winner. He's lost 5. Sammy Ellis was the loser. Vada Pinson had a Cincinnati home run, and more than 40,000 fans were on hand at Wrigley Field in Chicago as the Cubs made it 6 in a row and 13 of their last 14. In the first game here at Shea Stadium, the Mets defeated the St. Louis Cardinals by a score of 5-4 as Hal Runniff was the winner. Joe Horner was the loser. The winning run was scored by Bud Harrelson as Nelson Briles unleashed a wild pitch in the bottom half of the 9th inning. In the American League, at the end of 6 innings of play, the California Angels 4 and the New York Yankees 4. Al Downing started for the Yanks. They had Tillotson in the 6th inning. Jim McLaughlin started for California. Turner in the 5th and Kelso in the 5th. The Detroit Tigers knocked off the league-leading Chicago White Sox 3-0. Joe Sparma the winner. Gary Peters the loser, with Don McMahon relieving in the 8th inning. Stanley and Freon had 2 of the 3 hits for Detroit. They were home runs. At the end of a game of an inning and a half, Cleveland nothing, Baltimore nothing. McDowell against Stillman. Minnesota beat Washington 4-1. Dean Chance won his 11th. Camilo Pascal the loser. And the second game has gone through 3.5 with Minnesota leading by a score of 2-1. Now Don Shaw has pitched to Carlton. It's bunted foul out of play. Joe Coleman pitching for Washington. Jim Merritt for Minnesota. The Boston Red Sox defeated Kansas City 2-1. Gary Waslewski, the winner. Catfish Hunter, the loser. Joe Foy had a homer. Don Shaw is batting number 8 in the Met batting order. Ken Boyer stays in the ballgame at first base and bats ninth. For Shaw, it is his 26th appearance of this season. He worked in the first game for 2/3 of an inning and allowed no runs on 1 hit. Here's a swing and a foul ball, and it's strike 2 to Steve Carlton. Jack LeMay worked the first 7 innings here, gave up 3 runs on only 5 hits, struck out 5 and walked none. Carlton has doubled and struck out so far. Here's the pitch from the left-hander, a little inside, moved him back, and it's 1-2. Don Shaw's pitch to Carlin. Swung on and missed, and Shaw achieved his first strikeout of the game.
Left fielder, Lou Brock.
Now Lou Brock. Struck out, and flied to left so far. The Rheingold Chug-a-Mug is a wide-mouthed glass mug that holds 12 ounces of beer, and it even feels right when you pick it up. We're selling them in handy cartons of 6, and they're just about the handiest thirst quenchers in town. You'll find Chug-a-Mug on special display at your local stores in New York and New Jersey. The pitch to Brock is swung on. It's a fly ball to left. Going back is Davis to make the catch. Tommy Davis hauled it down in the warning track in the left field corner. The lights have been turned on here now at Shea Stadium before the first batter, Carlton, came up. 2 away, and it's Kurt Flood. Struck out swinging, grounded out pitcher to first, and flied out to center field. Left-hander Don Shaw with a pitch, and it is low for a ball. Paid crowd here today of 37,100. One-0 delivery. Swung on and line foul back at third. It moved Joe Schultz off the coaching line. Joe bouncing around a little to get out of the way of that one. Now he exaggerates the back movement, indicating he may have sprung something getting out of the way. Here's a pitch that's low. It's 2-1. Well, the Detroit Tigers won today, and so did the Boston Red Sox, so they stay even, 4.5 games behind the league-leading Chicago White Sox, and if the Minnesota Twins win that second game, it'll be a 3-way tie for second place in the American League. Here's a pitch inside for a ball. The pennant races have a long way to go yet. We're only on the second day of July. And although they may tell you that the teams in first place on the 4th of July win the pennant, don't you believe it. There's a swing and a drive down the left field line. A fair ball should be extra bases for Flood. Davis is over, up with it. Plays it back. Flood digs for second, and he goes in standing with a double. With 2 men out, the Cardinals have a runner at second, and Roger Maris is coming up. Wide to left. Looped a single into left and grounded out first base to the pitcher coverage. That's the first hit that the Cardinals have had since the 3rd inning of this ball game. After the Cardinals scored their 3 runs in the 2nd inning, Jack LeMay slammed the door, allowing only 1 hit until he went out of the ball game at the end of the 7th, and that was the looper by Maris, on which Harrelson and Davis got a little mixed up. Here is a pitch low for a ball. It might have been caught. It might have been caught by either. Cardinals lead 3-0 here. The Mets won the first game by a score of 5-4. Low and away for a ball. And with that victory in the first game, the Mets knocked the Cardinals right off the top rung in the National League. Because Leo DeRocha's Chicago Cubs were winning at the same time at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Inside. Count goes 3-0 to Maris. Maris did not start in the first game. He appeared as a pinch hitter and grounded into a double play. 3-0 pitch. He's taking all the way, and it's right down the pipe for a called strike, 3-1. Don Shaw off the stretch. Delivers 3-1. Swung on and fouled out. Chopped right off the plate. Rolls off toward the Met dugout. So it's a full count now to Barris with 2 away, and the Cardinals have a runner at second. Billy Williams is examining the ball. He puts another one in play. Orlando Cepeda waits on deck for the Cards. They're batting here in the top half of the 8th inning, second game of a doubleheader. The San Francisco Giants will be in here tomorrow night in a game that will start at 7 o'clock. We'll be on the air with radio coverage at 6:55. Payoff pitch. Swung on it on the ground, foul back, a first out of play. Going to the bottom half of the 5th inning, the Minnesota Twins 5 and the Washington Senators 1 in the second game. Dick Lyons has replaced Joe Coleman now on the mound for Washington. Jim Merritt still in there for Minnesota. Twins won the first game 4-1. If they win this one, they're in a 3-way tie with the Red Sox and the Tigers for second place. Payoff pitch. Inside, and Maris draws a walk. It's the first walk issued by Met pitchers in this game. Jack LeMay walked nobody, and Don Shaw now has walked his first Met. Orlando Cepeda double to lead off the second. Since then, he's popped out and grounded out. Batting .351. Don Shaw's pitch. Swung on and foul back. It's out of play. Strike one. Young Tom Seaver is going to be on the mound for the Mets tomorrow night as they open up against the San Francisco Giants. Pitch to Cepeda, and it's hit in the air to right, and Ron Swoboda is there to take the line drive with one hand. Ball was hit right at Swoboda, but he managed to one-hand it. And the side is out. No runs, one hit, no errors, and 2 left. In the middle of the 8th, the score is the Cardinals 3 and the Mets nothing. And now here's
the 4th of July. It's natural to want to get up and go, so go and enjoy yourself. Pack the car with the family and friends and then take off, and don't spare the horses. Put your foot down on the pedal and let her rip. See what you'll do. Take off and wail. Get really turned on and race. But keep it on the track, not the highway. WGY reminds you that highway death is just beyond the next curve of Earth. Happy holiday.
Tommy Davis is just coming off the field with the help of some of the Cardinals in the bullpen. He was down there in the corner, and my guess is that he lost a contact lens. He went back there on a fielding play a moment ago, and my guess is that he lost a contact lens because 3 of the Cardinals came out of the bullpen to help him look for something. And apparently he didn't find it because after he left, they were still looking. Bud Harrelson's up to lead off for the Mets here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. He is a switch hitter batting right. He had 3 hits in the first game, and he's had 1 in this game, 1 for 3. Carlton pitches in for a call strike. Harrelson triple. 1 hop to the wall in right center in the 3rd inning. Mets have had only 5 hits in this game off Steve Carlton. The lanky right-hander with the pitch now. Hit on the ground to third. Corral by Shannon, who goes to first in time. Shannon was in near the edge of the grass against the bunt possibility and moved to his backhand side to smother that ball and then play it on over to Cepeda. Cleon Jones is coming up. He's grounded out second to first, struck out swinging, and grounded out third to first. He is a right-hand batter. Carlton has struck out 6 and walked 1. We're in the bottom half of the 8th inning. That's in for a call strike as Jones bluffed the bunt. That brought Shannon in on the edge of the grass at third. He retreats now to a position even with the bag. This pitch is low. It's 1-1. One delivery, hit on the ground, foul back at third. The Cardinals at this moment are under the field direction of Coach Dick Sisler. Since manager Red Schoendienst was ejected from the game by umpire Billy Williams. One away and nobody on base to count 1-2 to Cleon Jones. High and away. Tommy Davis is scheduled to be out there on deck, but is not. Presumption is he's still trying to scare up another contact lens somewhere. 2-2 delivery, and it is low for a ball. The count's out full at 3-2 to Cleon Jones. Payoff pitch. Fouled off to the right side, and the seat's out of play. The count is full at 3-2. Payoff pitch. Hit in the air to center field, and Kurt Flood goes back into the warning track, leaps and can't get it across the wall in play. Jones is on his way to second. He rounds second on his way to third. Roger Maris picks up the ball. No play on Jones, arriving safely at third with a triple off the wall in right center field. Kurt Flood was shaded over toward right, playing Cleon Jones to go to the opposite field. But that was hit a little far. He went on back into the warning track, leaped for the ball, but it was over his outstretched glove and off the wall on the fly. Now, manager Westrom is coming out to say something to Billy Williams. And again, my guess is that he is telling Williams that Tommy Davis is not out there yet because he's still trying to get straightened out with his contact lens. Swoboda is waiting on deck. Davis has not shown up yet. And now Williams turns to ask Dick Sisler to come out. Sisler's running the Cardinals, and the information will be relayed to Dick Sisler. Williams turns, pointing his thumb back over toward the Met clubhouse. So the guess is that Tommy Davis is inside, getting another contact lens. Williams now indicates to Steve Carlton that he should toss in a few to stay warmed up here as play is being held up. In the bottom half of the 8th inning, with the Cardinals leading 3-0, the Mets have a runner at third, one man out, and we're getting action down in the Cardinal bullpen. It is Joe Horn, the left-hander, Nelson Briles, the right-hander, up and throwing now for the Cardinals. Play has been suspended for the moment. Orlando Cepeda is doing a little visiting with umpire Ken Burkhardt. Third baseman Mike Shannon is doing a little visiting with umpire Ed Vargo. Yogi Berra standing on the bag at first base. The fans have not been told what the reason for the delay is. The announcement is made to the press box that the delay is because of Davis having lost the contact lens. All the action elsewhere in the National League has been completed for the day, and the Cardinals will need to maintain their margin and win this ball game in order to climb back into a first-place tie with the Chicago Cubs. So it's an all-important game to the St. Louis Cardinals, who were knocked off the top rung by the New York Mets, coupled with the Chicago win, when the Mets won the first game here today by a score of 5-4. Meanwhile, the Houston Astros defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers by a score of 5-4 to stay 2 percentage points ahead of the Mets in the National League standings, pending the outcome of this game. Cubs played Cincinnati only one game. It ended 4-1, and now 3 of the umpires are walking over to the Met dugout. And Frank Sikore, who is the crew chief, is saying with his palms outstretched something like, how much longer are we going to wait? Tommy Davis now comes out carrying a bat, and we're getting ready. Meanwhile, in the American League, the California Angels have scored a run in the bottom of the 7th to go ahead of the New York Yankees by a score of 5-4. Minnie Rojas is working in relief now for California, and Thad Tillotson is working in relief for the Yankees. Right here, Cardinals 3, Mets nothing. The official score says the delay was 4 minutes. While Tommy Davis got another contact lens. All right, runner at third and 1 away. The Mets have yet to score in the game. The Cardinals lead 3-0. Steve Carlton works straight away to the right-hand batter, and it's low and away for a ball. Davis had a base hit to drive in a run in the first game. He had a bunt base hit in this one. He's 1 for 3. Carlton with a 1-0 delivery. And it's in the strike, 1-1. 1-1 pitch. Low. Carlton goes behind 2-1. He has struck out 6 and walked 1. He walked Jack LeMay. Now a chant of "Let's go Mets." Carlton's 2-1 delivery. Swung on it in the air to center field. Kurt Flood goes back toward the wall. He's in the warning track. Makes the catch. It'll score a run as Leon Jones tags and comes across the plate easily. That ball, more than 400 feet to straightaway center. It is a sacrifice fly and a run batted in. It is the Cardinals 3, the Mets 1. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
Hi, this is Jerry Ducey. I'll have good music for you weekday mornings from 10 to 11:30 here on the big bright sound of WGY Schenectady.
With Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner at Shea Stadium. Cardinals 3, Mets 1, 2 men out, nobody on base. Swoboda is at the plate. Swoboda 2 for 3 in this game. Has his season's batting average up now to .266. Carlin's pitch. Swung on, hit hard, 1 hop to short. Taken there by Maxwell. Sidearmed over to Cepeda, and the side is out. Mets got a run on a hit, no errors and none left at the end of 8 full innings. The score is the Cardinals 3 and the Mets 1. You know, when Reingold and the Mets get together to run a contest, they don't fool around. No little piddling payoffs every now and then. That's just not their style. Instead, Reingold is giving away 500 pairs of Mets tickets every week during the contest. That's right. 1,000 tickets are won every week by people like Clem Goldberg and Mrs. P. O'Neill. They and 498 others played Reingold's Score with a Mets game last week and won 2 tickets to a Mets game. And they are still eligible for the grand prize of $10,000 and a trip to the World Series. You can play, too. Just figure out how many runs the Mets will have scored from their first game to the midseason All-Star break on July 9th. You don't even have to buy anything. Just pick up an official entry blank at your local store or tavern in New York or Connecticut where you see the contest display. Send us as many estimates as you want every week. That way, you'll not only increase your chances for the grand prize, but you could come off with a pair of tickets to Shea Stadium, too. Play the $10,000 Reingold game. We'd love to take you out to the ball game. In the top of the ninth, Mike Shannon is up for the St. Louis Cardinals. Slide to left, slide to center, slide to center. Don Shaw, a left-hander, deals the pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. Cardinals 3, Mets 1 with the Cards batting in the top of the ninth. The Mets won the first game by a score of 3-1. Now a swing and a miss as Mike Shannon chased one. Don Shaw's best pitch is his sinker, and that was one of his best. Chased it right down in the dirt. It's a 2-strike count. Yogi Berra calls them worm killers. Pitch is a little inside. It's 1-2. Don Shaw is 23 years of age. This is his first year in the major league. Became a father last week, the first time. Swinging a ground ball foul back of third. Count holds at 1-2. Jack LeMahieu started this game as the pitcher of record. It's outside for a ball. It has been said that baseball is a game of inches, and the outcome certainly turns on a number of small things that might happen during the course of a ball game. Things that might go this way or perhaps that way. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled back. LeMahieu got off to a fine start in this ball game. He struck out Brock in the first inning, struck out Flood, and got Maris on a fly ball to left. And in the second inning, Cepeda double. But then Mike Shannon flied out to left. Then Ricketts was falling away from the plate as a left-hand batter and slapped the ball on the left field line and falling away, and it came on as a double and a run batted in. Swing and a ground ball foul. Then Javier tripled a drive and a run, and then Maxwell hit a fly ball to center. A sacrifice fly with Javier tagging and scoring after the catch. And the Cardinals had their 3 runs. After that, LeMahieu slammed the door. Crowd reaction to a ball being tossed back up in the stands. Here's a swing and a miss. And Brody stops the ball, picks it up, and tags Shannon. He's a strikeout victim. Shannon standing there, motionless for a while. Second strikeout for Don Shaw as Shannon goes back to the dugout, and Dave Ricketts is coming up. He's a switch hitter, so he is batting right now against left-hander Don Shaw. Here's the pitch, and it's low for a ball. The golf circuit, the big one this weekend is the Canadian Open, and Billy Casper and Art Wall were tied after the regulation 72 holes, so they'll play it off tomorrow. Here's a swing and a fly ball to right. Swoboda coming on. He makes the catch. Ricketts flies out, 2 away for the Cards in the ninth, and Javier is the batter. Tripled a drive and a run, grounded out, and was called out on strike. No sudden death playoff for Billy Casper and Art Wall in the Canadian Open. Instead, they'll play 18 tomorrow for the $30,000 first prize. That's worth another day's work. Now Don Shaw with the pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground to third. Taken by Charles. Laid across to Ken Boyer, and the side is out in order in the ninth. And relief stunt by Don Shaw. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. In the middle of the ninth, the score is the Cardinals 3 and the Mets 1.
Mets fans, imagine if you can the glorious Mets in person at Shea Stadium. Try to visualize the excitement of big league baseball. The triumphant Mets face-to-face with the Los Angeles Dodgers. All yours, absolutely free. See Tommy Davis, Yogi Berra, Wes Westrom, and the whole team. Win a pair of tickets to the Mets game coming up Sunday, July 23rd. Just send a card to Glorious Mets, WGY Schenectady. You may win 2 free tickets to the Dodgers-Mets game on July 23rd. Our most recent ticket winners are Kurt Brown of Del Mar and John P. D'Annunzio of Waterville Elite. What else? Make it easy on yourself when you tune in all the evening and weekend Mets games here on WGY. And get a handy-dandy WGY program schedule that gives all the times, dates, and places of Mets baseball on WGY. For a WGY Mets schedule, write Mets Schedule, WGY Schenectady. You'll be glad you did.
And now the Mets come up in the bottom half of the ninth inning, trailing by 2 runs. Left-hander Steve Carlton has been in all the way in this game for the Cardinals, and the Mets will have Ed Charles, right-hand batting third baseman, up to lead off. In this game, he's gone nothing for 3. He appeared as a pinch hitter in the first game and flied out. Carlton's pitch is high, and it's ball 1. Mets are scheduled to send up Ed Charles, Jerry Buchek, and Jerry Grody here in the bottom half of the ninth, with the Cardinals leading 3-1. 1-0 pitch is taken in there for a called strike. Charles exaggerated a bunting motion in taking the pitch. It's 1-1. It's a swing and a ground ball toward short. Charged by Maxwell. He plays it on to first in time, and Charles grounds out. Wasn't hit hard, and Maxwell had to charge the bouncing ball. 1 away, and now it's Jerry Buchek. The hits are all even in this game at 6 each, but the Cardinals lead it 3-1. The Mets won the first game by a score of 5-4. That pitch is in for a called strike. Again, the pitch to Buchek. Swung on and missed. It's strike 2. Buchek got a leadoff base hit in the bottom half of the 7th inning. 2-strike delivery. Swung on and fouled off to the right side. Sliced it foul. Out of play. Count continues at 2 strikes with Jerry Grody religiously at work on the handle of that bat with the pine tar rag. Here's a pitch low in the dirt, dug out by Ricketts, and it's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch, swung on, hit on the ground toward short, scooped up by Maxwell, played over to Cepeda. There are 2 men out. So the Mets are down to their last out of the ball game, and Jerry Grody, the catcher, is coming up. Grounded out, flied out, and flied out. The Cardinals lead by a score of 3-1. Tomorrow night, the San Francisco Giants are here. A 7 p.m. start tomorrow night. That pitch is in for a strike. We'll be on the air with radio coverage tomorrow night at 6:55. Strike 1 pitch. Swung on and fouled. Out of play. So the count is 2 strikes. Tommy Reynolds has come out on deck now to bat for Don Shaw. Hopefully, if Jerry Grody can save him a time, here's a 2-strike pitch. Swung on and hit on the ground to second base. Javier's up with it. Goes to Cepeda, and the ball game is over. Side is out in order in the bottom half of the 9th inning. So the St. Louis Cardinals, by winning the second game, climb back into a flat-footed tie with the Chicago Cubs for first place in the National League. In the bottom half of the 9th inning of this second game, no runs, no hits, no errors, none left. We'll be back in a moment with the final summary and totals. Right now, the final score of the second game is the Cardinals 3 and the Mets 1. The New York Mets have split a doubleheader with the St. Louis Cardinals, and in the first game, the Mets won it in the bottom half of the 9th inning by a score of 5-4. And with that victory, coupled with the Chicago Cubs win over the Cincinnati Reds, the Mets knocked the St. Louis Cardinals out of first place as the Chicago Cubs moved up on top. But then the Cardinals came back to win the nightcap here by a score of 3-1. They did it with 1 big inning off Jack LeMahieu, and thus the Cardinals were able to climb back into a flat-footed tie with the Cubs now in the National League standings, with all the action in the National League finished for the day. The winning pitcher for the New York Mets in the first game was Hal Runner, picking up his second win in as many days since coming over from the New York Yankees, and it was appropriate since this was his 29th birthday. Joe Horner worked in relief and was the loser for the St. Louis Cardinals, manager Wes Westrom was cranking up that bullpen phone all day long and getting pinch hitters up there as well as he used 21 men in the first game here today. And the Mets won it when Bud Harrelson, who had 3 hits in the first game, came in from third on a wild pitch by relief pitcher Nelson Browse in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Earlier, Ken Boyer, against his former teammates, the Cardinals, had tied the score with a home run. Ed Craneboule had had an earlier home run for the Mets, and Mike Shannon had had a 2-run homer and drove in 3 of the 4 runs that the Cardinals scored in the first game. So it was the Mets winning 5-4 in the first game. But then in the second, Jack LeMahieu was on the mound for the Mets against Steve Carlton of the Cardinals. LeMahieu started out like a house of fire, striking out Lou Brock and Kurt Flood and getting Maris to fly out. But then in the second inning, Cepeda doubled. But Mike Shannon was out on the fly ball to left, no advance for Cepeda. Ricketts, batting left, fell away from a pitch in tight and in protecting himself, doubled down the left field line to drive in a run. Then Javier tripled to drive in another, and Dow Maxwell sent a sacrifice fly to center to drive in another. And so the Cardinals had their 3 runs. After that, Jack LeMahieu slammed the door, allowing only one more hit, a single to Roger Maris in the 3rd inning, until he went out after 7 for a pinch hitter. Then Don Shaw came on, pitched 2 fine innings in relief, as he gave up only 1 hit in the final 2 innings of the ballgame. The Mets, however, could not score off Steve Carlton until the 8th inning, when Cleon Jones had a triple and Tommy Davis brought him in with a sacrifice fly, a long drive to the wall in center field. And so, in a game that lasted only 2 hours and 4 minutes, the Cardinals won the nightcap by a score of 3-1. Carlton, the winner, has won 6 and lost 5. LeMahieu, the loser, has won none and lost 2. Final totals in the second game for the Cardinals: 3 runs on 6 hits and no errors. For the Mets, 1 run on 6 hits and no errors.
New York Mets baseball has been brought to you by Rheingold Beer as another in his continuing parade of major sports events. It's their way of saying thank you for making Rheingold New York's largest selling beer. Rheingold, either you have it or you don't, and Rheingold's got it. New York Mets baseball was also brought to you by Armory Garage, Central at Colvin in Albany. The man who can move you up to luxury at a price you can afford.